Alrighty, good morning, good morning. I feel like I have light shining down on me. It's not God planning to conduct surgery on me. It's light sun shining through the window. This is video 710, and this is going to be another example of a very hastily, unthought out statement, which I had while I was grocery shopping not 10 minutes ago. And I have to preface it by saying that what I'm about to say does not apply to everybody. It's not a statement that is universal. Everyone's situation is variable, it's highly independent, and as always, your mileage may vary. Okay, so I have to preface this by saying that you may walk away from this saying, well, that's okay for you, Robin, but that's not my life. That's not my situation. So let me just get that out of the way. Okay, so that's the, let me see if I can get out of the sunlight here. Okay, that's the disclaimer. Okay, what a build-up. What a build-up. Okay, so here it is. Here it is. Deep breath. You may want to sit down. I didn't preface that. Please sit down. You might be so blinded by realization what I'm about to say that you might be knocked off your feet and thrown to the floor and have an epiphany that will just rock your world. Okay, so that said, deep breath. And I can't claim credit for this statement, unfortunately. I wish I could, but I can't. It was said to me in a support group meeting by a very wise and wonderful woman, Elizabeth Tess Graham, who said it, so I can't claim credit for it. But you ready? Okay. This is going to rock your world. Totally rock your world. Okay. Here goes. Your transition is totally up in your head. Your transition from female to male, from male to female, from nothing to something, from neither to one or the other, or from one to neither for the non-binary. Your transition is all up in your head. It's all up in here. Okay? So, forget the clothes. Don't need them. Forget the surgeries. Don't need them. Forget the chemicals. Forget the biologicals. Forget the hormones. Don't need them. All of that. Set it aside. Your transition is all up in your head. It's all up in your brain. It's all up in your noggin. Okay? So, if you're having trouble, here's where the danger of a general statement comes in. If you're having trouble with your transition and you're not seeing a mental health counselor, you're not seeing a mental health practitioner, a therapist, okay, social worker, and you're not addressing what's up here, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up to fail. If you're more focused on your breast size, your cup size, than your mental health, I think you're going to have problems. If you're more concerned with your body hair, the amount of or the lack thereof, than what's going on up in your head, you're going to have problems. I mean, just Be aware of it. Look out. So what I would encourage you to do, if you can, is before you even think about hormones or surgery or buying that pair of shoes you've always wanted, okay, is to get your mental house in order. Get this upstairs in order. Okay, because I promise you, you might have lots of issues down the road. Okay, and I can't reiterate that enough. There's a lot going on up here when it comes to transitioning, evaluating it, coming to terms with it. What am I going to do? How is it going to affect my life? How is it going to affect my family? What are my parents going to think? What is my wife going to think? What is my husband going to think? What are my children going to think? There's all of these things, okay, that can really do a number on you. They can prevent you from transitioning. They can become obstacles, seemingly, enormous obstacles that might drive you to give up and consider suicide because you just can't deal with it. You can't, all those things. And so, that mental health is a huge issue. And it's something that I kind of have said in previous videos, talking about a transition roadmap. If you haven't taken the time to draw a map, not like a map like this, but to get a piece of paper and write on one side of it, the left or right, top or bottom, whichever is your preference, where you are, and on the other edge where you want to be, and you've not broken that down into small achievable steps, listing in a column the challenges that you have, prioritizing them, how you're going to tackle them, and periodically coming back to that roadmap and revisiting it and tweaking things depending on your circumstances. If all you do is run around and just yell at the top of your head, I have problems, I have problems, I have problems, and you don't write them out and deal with them, you're setting yourself up for failure. Do yourself a favor. Take 10 minutes. Come up with your roadmap. Okay? You wouldn't go anywhere that you've never been for driving a car without a map. You would always look it up, whether it be Google Maps or something else. You would consult, and that's where that mental health practitioner comes in, talking to somebody else, their advice, their consultant. You owe it to yourself. You are worthy of the time to stop and come up with your roadmap, come up with your timetable, come up with the things you're going to do, and to ask yourself on each one of those items, what am I going to do? What am I going to do to tackle those things? No one else is going to help you. Don't count on a GoFundMe, okay? Don't count on people giving you money. It is totally up to you to see yourself through your transition. Okay, it'd be nice. It'd be nice. Be nice. But that can become an obstacle in of itself to say, oh, well, no one else will pay for it, so I guess I can't do it. If you don't have a job, train yourself, develop the skills so you can get a job. If you have a job and it's not paying enough, dedicate some time to building up some skills so that you can get a better job. Okay? The whole thing is to break these things down into steps and prioritize them, and you tackle them. Tap your resources. It's not just a matter of going on Facebook and typing transgender, okay? It may very well mean a trip down to your local library, and I know we're under COVID restrictions and everything right now. Okay, but I believe the 705s or the 710s and the Dewey Decimal System is all self-help books. Self-help on how to deal with your personality, how to make friends. The Dale Carnegie book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, is a wonderful book to read. Dale Carnegie. How to Stop Living or How to Stop Worrying and Start Living is another one. Okay, these are all things you can do. Sorry, I'm getting excited, so I'm getting loud. These are all things you can do today. Okay, if it's Sunday or Saturday, if it's Sunday, maybe not today. Go tomorrow when the library's open. Okay, work it into your routine, work it into your schedule. You are worthy of that. You are worth it. Your plans, your hopes, your dreams, you are worth it. Give yourself that time. Give yourself every tool in the toolbox. Give yourself the best things that you need to do. And it may mean some work up here. Sorry, I've got my two sons are chasing each other. Okay, so all of this can be done without a doctor's consent. It doesn't need hormones, doesn't need surgery. You don't have to buy clothes. Okay, all of this can be done before you transition, during your transition, after your transition if you've not done it yet. But to sit there and say, oh, I can't do this, I have, I'm, coming up with the reason, I can't do this, I have attention deficit disorder, I have Asperger's syndrome, I'm borderline autism. I mean, they're all challenges, but don't use that as an excuse. If this is something that you want to do, my friends, you are worthy of it. You are worth it. Your dreams matter. Okay? So do yourself a favor. Like I said, give yourself every tool, every advantage. Life's going to throw some challenges your way. And the more things you have, the more that you stack the deck in your favor before you transition, the better off that you are. So, circling back, transition is all up here. It is all in your head. Okay, I'll give you an example, and here's where you're going to say, "That's great for you, Robin." Okay, and unfortunately, it may very well be true. Okay, I rolled out of bed this morning, grabbed my my wallet, my mask, put on a pair of sneakers, and I went to the grocery store. Didn't put on a bra. No falsies. And I'm as flat as Florida, okay? No makeup. No earrings. No high heel shoes. Okay? No cute flats with little bows on them. Went to the grocery store. Walked around. And was mammed everywhere I went. I even was missed at one point, believe it or not. And that doesn't mean someone threw something at me and they didn't hit me. Someone said, "Excuse me, miss, would you like this?" When I went to the deli counter and I talked. Okay. So, what I'm driving at, and probably poorly, is much like me, I hope that you have the freedom to roll out of bed and be the man or the woman that you are, regardless of how you look, how you sound. Okay? That little voice in your... We're going to come back to this again. I'm going to do this a lot, and not because I'm shooting myself in the head. Though probably some of you wish I would. That little voice inside you that you heard when you were a little boy or a little girl, and it said, something's not right. Something's not right with me. Something's not right with this setup. I don't feel right. I'm more like so-and-so. I'm more like that girl, or I'm more like that boy, or I'm like both, or I'm like neither. That little voice, that feeling, that inclination, that intuitive nature that you have within you is still within you to this day. And again, it's all up here. Okay? I've got 3 days worth of beard stubble. I know you can't see it because it's all gray. I got gray hair. Okay? But I've got a beard. Okay? Again, how we look, how we sound, we see ourselves through our eyes. Your eyes. You see yourself through your eyes. I see myself through my eyes. We are our harshest critics. And we walk into that grocery store. We walk into the mall. We walk into the store. We walk down the street. And we're so hypersensitive about what other people are thinking. I promise you. I'll bet you a Coke. That's how serious I am. The people around you don't give a fuck who you are or what you're doing. They're more concerned about their own lives, their own situations. They don't care who and what you are. It's our own insecurities that tell us, oh, I can't, I don't sound like a woman. I don't look like a woman. I need, if only I didn't have as much hair on my body, if only my hair was longer, if only I had hair. If only my breasts were bigger. If only my breasts were smaller. If you couldn't see my breasts. If my thighs were bigger, if my legs were longer, if my voice was deeper, if I didn't have enough resonance in my voice. Okay? And I apologize for voice shit that I'm not very good at, but what I'm getting at is it doesn't matter. It's all up here. Get out of that bed, roll out of your bed, get out of your house, walk the world like you own it, and you're saying to the world, I am. I am. Say your name. Whatever you want your name to be. I am this name. And I exist. And I am a woman. I am a man. I'm both. I'm neither. I'm bi. I'm poly. I'm non-binary. And do the things that you want to do. Free yourself of those shackles if you can. I have to fit in. I have to pass. I have to be stealth. Someone said to me one time, he said, Robin, you don't understand. I have to be much more stealthy than you are to go out. You don't understand. I can't leave my house unless I spend 8 hours, correcting my defects. And, great if that's what you want to do. But at that point, who's telling you that you are not the man or woman that you know that you are? You are. Not them. Not the people around you. And as a trans woman, our breasts aren't big enough. How do I get my breasts bigger? Okay. Estrogen's not doing it. HRT's not doing what it wanted to do. Ask a woman who's had breast cancer and has had to get a dual mastectomy about what it means to not have breasts and be a woman. Is she any less of a woman because she doesn't have a D cup and she has to wear a falsie? No. A woman with a deep voice. Oh, it's the phone call. Hang on just a minute. Oh, hang on, I gotta take this. Sorry about that. I could take the phone call. What was I gonna say? We were talking about voice, I think. Cher has a very deep, resonating, monotone voice. Is she any less of a woman because she resonates? No. So, again, we are our harshest critics. Think about a woman who might be mute. She may not be able to talk. She doesn't have a voice. And you do. Alright, so I got to wrap this up. I got to go pick up my daughter. So, to sum up, circle back. It's all in your head. And yes, there are things if you don't like. I mean, some of us like to wear V-necks. Some of us like to wear crew necks. Some of us like to not show our necks. I mean, freedom of choice is something that we have, and I don't mean to knock that. But I think it's very easy to get wrapped up in the I have to perfect myself, and so I can't be happy until this other happens. And when you look around and you see men and women who come in all shapes and sizes and body sizes, thick, thin, tall, skinny, short, squat, bulky, hefty, burly, and men and women both who talk high pitched, low pitched, resonating, non-resonating. People come in all shapes and sizes. And there's certainly a whole industry, particularly around women, although I think I saw a lot of stuff this morning at the store about men. You know, men's soap, men wipes, men this, men that. But there's the beauty industry for women for years, I'll say decades, has been playing on our insecurities. You know, well, you wanna be handsome, you wanna be pretty. What will they think about you if you do this, if you don't do that? That whole industry trying to make you feel less of a person, less of a woman, less of a man, less of a... Like I said, give them both barrels, girl. Fuck you. Fuck you to hell. Be who you are. Be who you want to be. And if by chance you want to be a beauty queen or whatever, and good luck to you. Go to town. Knock yourself out. But don't feel like you're ugly, unattractive. You are yourself. You are who you're meant to be. And you definitely can do things, like I said, to reach your potential. And yes, clothing is an accessory. It's a piece of costume. It can help you out. It can accentuate. It can give some nonverbal clues. And so can makeup and shoes and clothes and everything else. But if you feel like you're less of a man or a woman because of X, Y, or Z, it's all up here. It's all up in your head. That said, it's a free country. Do what you want to do. But I would also, be aware of one other thing, and then I'll shut up. You say, thank God she's going to shut up. Count your blessings. If you have been able to transition and to be Mr. or Mrs. fill in the blank, or neither, they, them, theirs, Z, them, count your blessings. Think back to where you were when you were 5 or 6 years old and you were struggling with it. You knew something wasn't right. You thought something was wrong. You were a sinner. God hated you. God was punishing you. You were with fear, shame, and guilt over these feelings, and you were the only person in the world that felt this way. Remember back to where you were and look at how far you've come. Count your blessings you get to be, especially now with President-elect Biden coming back into power, the White House. We're going to see LGBTQ stuff again. Okay? The genie's out of the bottle. We ain't going back in. But be thankful for what you have and make the best of what you got. There are limitations. Hormones are only going to do so much. Plastic surgery is only going to do so much. Voice training is only going to do so much. Be aware of those limitations, especially if you're old. If you're an old fuck like me, who started transitioning in their 40s, late 40s at that. Be aware of your limitations. We all go through a puberty. We go through a second puberty stage. After that, for the gals, putting on makeup and dresses and everything. I mean, we all go through that stage. And again, you're going to develop your own style. That's great for you. But realize, be thankful that you get to be Mr. or Mrs. or neither or both, and how far we've come. Yes, there's still lots of things to do, but there are people, if you can think back to where you were when you were younger, who are going to be under that specter of fear, shame, and guilt for the rest of their lives. And be thankful that you get to be Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, or neither or both. You may not have as big breasts as you want. You may not have as many muscles as you want. You may not have the beard that I wish I could trade with you, my friends. My trans men friends, I wish I could trade with you. I'd love to have your boobs. But anyway, we have things. Isn't it funny how we have things we want to give away, and wouldn't it be cool if we could trade? That'd be kind of neat. But anyway, neither here nor there. Maybe one day. I want to wrap this up. I'm sorry I've spoken too long. But count your blessings. Okay. You may not be as pretty or as handsome as you might want to be, but you do get to be a woman, a man, both, neither. You do get to be your authentic self, and that in of itself is priceless. All right, I've talked enough, so I'm going to say good luck to you in your quest to become your authentic self. I used to say good luck to you in your transition to become your authentic self, but I'm really trying to get away from the transition because I really do think this is a road that leaves forever along the horizon. Once you transition, have your surgery and everything, if that's your choice, you're still going to need mental health counseling. I promise you. It doesn't end. It doesn't end at GCS. It continues on and on and on. Because that's life. All right, till next time. Good luck, and good luck to you. Bye.